Dear friends, today I'm introducing to you Ivan Bunin, the first Russian writer awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature, and quick interpretation of his short story, A Beauty. Just before going into the details of my interpretation, I would highly recommend you to go ahead and read the full story. It is very short, I promise you. You can find the whole story in the description below. The plot structure of the story Beauty reflects the well-known plot archetype about an evil stepmother, a kind and weak-willed father, and about an orphan on whom all the troubles fall. The story seems to have no end whatsoever. This work is so-called miniature story in the cycle called Dark Alleys or Dark Avenues. And in this cycle about love, one can find the writer's social position related to reflections on the fate of Russia. This position is hidden in a subtext. Because of the political situation in the country, it is exactly the subtext that becomes, in essence, the only means of expressing the author's position and assessment of a time. Let's start from the broad picture and the concept of a cosmos as a home in a story, as a model of the national world. Each country and nation has its own national space, and it is made up of the local nature, national character of the people and the way of thinking. And without going into the intricacies of Russian national portrait of the time, let's just emphasize that the universal language of the Russian space is born from the idea of national history as a family, life between Russia and the people, and as a result of family life, their children is a culture. In the symbolic sense, this is the family history of the read as a moral historical reflection on the dramatic fate of Russia, the people and the writer Ivan Bunin himself. The boy's father is the Russian people, his previous wife and the boy's mother are former Russia until 1917. Their son is a culture and a writer Ivan Bunin himself, rejected by the people and forced to leave his homeland, humbly settling in France. And the beauty, obviously, the new, young, free Soviet Russia. Let's look at the first episode. The characters are characterized in their essential properties. The way the sentences are put together, just look how author presents father to the reader. Social status, marital status, age. Official of the treasury, widower, elderly. And how he introduces her, the beauty, in the reverse order and exactly the opposite. Age, appearance, social status. Young, beautiful, daughter of a military commander. And the same opposition, a widower, an elderly man married to a young woman, a beauty. In the story, Beauty decides to take the widower in her hands because she knows her own worth. According to the text, she established her own laws and orders, looked out for everything, quoting, she had a keen eye. This is a very strong sentence. So instead of original maternal feelings, the beauty has a foreign passion to rule. No wonder she is also the daughter of a military commander. The relationship of the spouses is legal, but disharmonious. Thus, everything in the beauty is contrary to the Russian soul. She is not the homeland. She's driven not by love, but by the desire for power. The motive of the desire for power organizes the plot action in episodes 2, 3 and 4. The beauty appears in her true form of the oppressor. She occupies and dominates the house. The father's storyline ends early in the second episode. He is exhausted by the complete submission to his wife. Having seized her husband, the beauty is starting to take off his son. Now a third character is involved in a plot, a 7-year-old boy from the first wife. And there is exact connections to the Bunin. He wrote, they say in the city, the Bolshevik he means, decided to kill every single child up to the age of 7, so that later not a single soul would remember our time. That is why the boy who remembers everything, whose life filled with the memory of his past mother, it seems that Bunin draws our attention to the King Herod from the Bible. Episodes 2, 3 and 4 are a generalized symbolic story about Bunin's life before emigration, in which humiliation and punishment of the boy are revealed in the form of metaphors and comparisons. The boy, by nature lively, affectionate, began to be afraid to say a word, and then he completely hid himself. In episode 3, the boy was transferred to sleep in the living room, a room for receiving guests. But even in the living room, the boy did not calm down. He knocked the sheets and blanket on the floor. We are talking about the behavior of Bunin, which was undesirable to the new government. The boy's new life takes on meaning thanks to the mother's motive, unfolded for the first time in the 5th final episode. Now the hero is focused on revealing her image. An important symbolic role in the hero's desire to identify himself with his mother is played by the things and objects that belonged to her. The storage of these items are associated with motives of origin, heredity and inheritance. He considers himself to be the keeper of the most sacred heritage of Russian culture. That's it from me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please let me know if you would like to add anything to my interpretation, and if you have any questions, please leave those in the comments below. Have a very nice evening, have a very nice day, and see you very soon in a next video.